In our flow today, we are going to work towards pigeon pose, Ekapada Kapotasana. And this is a pose that comes up frequently in our flows. It's probably one we do relatively often. But just because it's something we do a lot doesn't necessarily mean that it's a simple pose. It's actually a relatively complex pose. So you may want a block and a strap for our practice today. I hope you enjoy. Start out in child's pose at the back of your mat.
Feel your sit bones press into your heels. Feel your hands and your arms rest against the mat. Feel your belly as it rises and falls against your thighs. Begin to notice your inhale and your exhale. Lengthen your inhale and deepen your exhale. Continue these slow, deep breaths throughout the practice. Being able to tap into your breath is a useful tool during our yoga practice,
especially when we start working into the hips.
One more deep inhale and long exhale. Look forward. Walk your hands just a little bit forward until your hips are directly over your knees. Then lower your forehead and your chest towards the mat, puppy pose. In this variation of puppy, by keeping our forehead down, we're able to focus the movement in our upper back. The range of motion in our upper back is small, so don't try and force your chest to the floor. Just feel the extension as it yearns towards the mat. Look forward and continue coming all the way forward until your hips and forearms are on the mat. Your elbows should be directly underneath your shoulders or a little bit in front. Tuck your tailbone. Press down firmly through your forearms and energetically pull your fingers back so your heart shines forward for Sphinx. Pay attention to where your neck is and make sure that it is in line with the rest of your spine. Inhale and exhale, lower all the way down. Bring your hands by your side, palms facing down. Retuck your tailbone. Inhale, lift everything but your hands and your hips off the mat for locust. Inhale for length. Exhale, lift a little bit higher. Inhale for length. Exhale, lift a little bit higher. One more time, inhale for length. And exhale, release. Bend your elbows, interlace your fingers at your low back. Inhale, lift everything but your hips off the mat. Inhale for length. Exhale, lift a little bit higher. Inhale for length. Exhale, a little higher. One more time. Inhale for length. And exhale, release. Move your arms out so they are in front of you, over your head. Final locust variation. Superman. Inhale, everything but your hips off the mat. Inhale for length. Exhale, lift higher. Inhale for length. Exhale, lift a little bit higher. Last inhale for length. And exhale, release down. Bring your hands underneath your shoulders. Retuck your tailbone. Draw your shoulder blades down your back towards your hips. Extend back firmly through both legs. Inhale up to baby cobra. Keep your shoulders level as you turn and look over your right shoulder. Back to center. Keep your shoulders level again as you turn and look this time over your left shoulder. Back to center. Inhale, lift up a little higher and see if you can lift your hands off the mat. Exhale, release down. Push up to tabletop. Hips over knees, shoulders over wrists. Inhale, point your tailbone to the sky, draw your shoulder blades together. Exhale, reverse. Tuck your tailbone, draw your shoulder blades apart. Continue these cat-cows at your own pace. At the end of this exhale, bring yourself to a neutral position by drawing your low ribs in and down and your shoulder blades together. Then make sure that your neck is in line with your spine and draw your chin in slightly like you're trying to create a double chin. Keep this engagement, this nice neutral line, and we're going to do some leg lifts on the right, some fire hydrants. So, exhale, lift your right leg, point your knee out to the side. 1, down. 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release down. You can do a little cat-cow here if you want. You should have felt the outside of your right glute, your glute medius, fire up while you were doing that. Return to a neutral spine, low ribs in and down, shoulder blades together, neck in line, chin pulling in. Now, leg lifts on the left. Exhale, left leg up, knee to the side. 1, and down. 2, 3, 4, 5, and hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, release down. If you want, one more cow belly, inhale, and cat, exhale. Then tuck your toes and push back to a modified downward facing dog with your knees bent, up high on your toes. Tailbone is pointing up and back. The knuckles at the base of your fingers press firmly into the mat, and your belly is either on your thighs or energetically reaching towards your thighs. Inhale and exhale. Begin to slowly alternate lowering your heels to walk out your downward facing dog. Then come to stillness with your legs straight or straight-ish. They can be slightly bent, yet if they need to be, especially this early in our flow. Inhale, step your right foot between your hands. Exhale, lower your left knee. Inhale, come on up to a low lunge. Tuck your tailbone slightly so that your torso can come straight up out of your hips. Keep your tailbone tucked as you begin to lower down into your lunge. Stop as soon as you feel your tailbone want to tip back. Retuck your tailbone and hold at that level, wherever it is for you. Then energetically pull your legs towards each other, front to back and side to side. Keep this strong, energetic engagement in your base. And remember this, we're going to use this in our pigeon later on. Bring your hands to heart center. Inhale. Lift your chest slightly towards your hands. Bring your arms overhead. Keep your palms touching if you can. Bend at the elbows so your fingers point back. Inhale for length. Exhale, bend back a little bit farther. Shine your heart forward and up. Exhale, hands frame your right foot. Inhale, shine your heart forward. Exhale, walk your hands back for half split. Inhale, walk your hands back forward. Bring your right hand to the inside of your right foot and heel toe your foot out so it comes towards the edge of your mat, turned out to about 30, maybe 45 degrees. Then walk your left leg back just a little farther. Option 1, you can stay here on your hands for lizard. Option 2, if you have the space, walk your hands forward slightly and bring your forearms down either onto blocks or onto the mat. Wherever your hands are, power up your left leg. Inhale, come forward onto your left toes. Exhale, push back towards your heel. Inhale, forward on your toes. Exhale, back towards your heel. Inhale, forward on your toes. Exhale, back towards your heel. And then just come midway between those two and hold your lizard for a couple breaths. We tend to round our back like cat and lizard. If you can, try to remember that neutral spine, low ribs in and down, and shoulder blades pulling towards each other, neck in line. Final inhale. Exhale, lower your back knee and come back up onto your hands if you're not already. Inhale, lift your right arm up to the sky. Exhale, reach back. Option 1, you can stay here. Option 2, bend your left knee
and reach around and hold on to the outside of your left foot. Option 3, walk your left hand forward a little and come on down to your forearm. If you are holding on to your left foot, make sure that you're not just pulling it in with your right hand, but actively engage your left leg, the hamstring, the glute, to hold your leg in place so that even if you let go with your hand, it would stay where it is. And then everyone, spiral your chest and your gaze up. Final inhale. Exhale, carefully release. Bring your foot and your hand back down. Come back up onto your hands and heel toe your right foot to the middle of the mat. Once it's there, turn it out again at about 45 degrees. This time, open your right leg so the knee opens to the side and you come up on the outside of your right foot. Option 1, you can stay here in this sort of awkward pigeon type pose. Otherwise, walk your hands forward and again, forearms maybe onto blocks or potentially all the way to the mat. Again, hips back, chest, heart, shine forward. Remember your deep inhale and slow and controlled exhale as we work into our hips. One more inhale and exhale. Come back up onto your hands. Step back to plank. Once again, find your neutral spine, low ribs in and down, shoulder blades pulling together, neck in line. Keep this neutral engagement as you lower halfway or all the way to the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot between your hands. Exhale, lower your right knee. Inhale, come up to your low lunge. Remember your hips. Tuck your tailbone under slightly. Keep that tuck as you come forward into your lunge. Stop your lunge once you feel your tailbone want to tip back. Retuck it if necessary. And then energetically pull your legs together, front to back, side to side. Remembering this strong engagement through our base, the engagement that we'll also use in our active pigeon later on. Bring your hands together at heart center. Inhale, lift your chest slightly towards your hands. Bring your arms overhead, palms still touching. Bend your elbows so your hands point back. Inhale for length. Exhale, bend back slightly. Shine your heart forward and up. Exhale, hands frame your left foot. Inhale, shine your heart forward. Exhale, walk your hands back for a half split. Inhale, walk your hands back to the front. Bring your left hand to the inside of your left foot and heel toe your left foot to the edge of your mat. Turn it out 30 to 45 degrees. Walk your right foot back, your right leg back, just a little bit. Option 1, you can stay on your hands. Option 2, walk your hands forward and come down onto your forearms. Everyone, power up your right leg. Inhale, forward onto your right toes. Exhale, back towards your heel. Inhale, forward onto your toes. Exhale, back towards your heel. Inhale, forward on your toes. Exhale, back towards your heel. And then just find a spot midway between that for your lizard for a couple of breaths. Remembering to draw your low ribs in and down slightly and pull your shoulder blades towards each other a little. Final inhale. Exhale, lower your right knee and come back up onto your hands if you're not already. Inhale, reach your left arm up to the sky. Exhale, reach it behind you. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, bend your right leg and hold on to the outside of your right foot. Option 3, walk your right hand forward, come down onto your forearm. Remember again, don't let this right leg be passive and just pulling it in with your left arm. Instead, engage the right leg, the glutes, the hamstrings, so that if you let go, your foot would stay where it is. And then everyone, regardless of whether or not you're holding on to your foot, spiral your chest and your gaze up. Inhale. Exhale, carefully release. Place your hand and your foot back down. Come up onto your hands and heel toe your left foot to the middle of your mat. Turn it back out 45 degrees and then open your left leg so the knee opens to the side and you're resting on the outside edge of your left foot. Option 1, stay here. Option 2, again, you can walk your hands forward and come down onto your forearms. Hips pull back, heart shines forward. Slow, controlled breaths. Deep inhale. Controlled exhale. Come back up onto your hands if you're not already. Step back to your high plank. Lower halfway or all the way to the mat. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take a couple of nice deep breaths in your down dog. Tailbone pulling back and up. Triceps wrapping in towards your ears. Walk your hands back towards your feet. Make sure your feet are hips distance apart. Then take your pointer and middle finger and wrap them around your big toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold, Padangustasana. Elbows open to the sides, shoulder blades towards your hips, head yearning towards your toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Release the grip around your left toe, but keep holding on to your right toe. Bend your knee slightly. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Slowly come up to stand on your left foot, bringing your right foot with you. Find a place to gaze that is unmoving in front of you. Exhale, extend your right leg long, straight or as straight as you can. Inhale, open your right leg out to the side. Exhale, bring it back to the center. Bend your knee. Hold on to your ankle and let's come into tree pose. Place your foot wherever is comfortable for you, ankle, calf, maybe all the way up on your inner thigh. Wherever you place it, press the leg into the foot and the foot into the leg. Hands at heart center. Engage your left glute so your hips don't pop out to the left. Engage your right glute so your knee opens to the right. Release your foot and slowly extend it out in front of you. Bend at the knee. Cross your ankle over your left leg and come back like you're sitting into a low chair. The lower you go, the more you'll feel it in the outside of your right hip. Again, hips back, heart forward. Come to stand, right foot down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Wrap your pointer and middle fingers around your big toes. Exhale, forward fold. Lean your weight forward slightly into your big toes. Inhale, halfway lift. Release the grip around your right toe. Bend your knees. Bring your right hand to your right hip. And come to stand on your right leg, bringing your left leg with you. Again, find a spot that's unmoving in front of you to look at. Exhale, extend your left leg long. Inhale, open your left leg to the side. Inhale, bring it back to the center. Bend your left knee, hold on to your left ankle. Place your foot wherever you need to for tree, and it may be different on this side than the other side. Press leg into foot, foot into leg, hands at heart center. Engage your right glute so your hips don't pop out to the right. Engage your left glute so that your left knee opens to the side. Bring your foot out in front, extending your leg again. Bend at the left knee, cross your left ankle over your right leg, and carefully sit down again into that low chair. The lower you go, the more you'll feel the stretch in the outside of your left hip. Come to standing, left foot down. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Walk your hands back forward for downward facing dog. Take a couple deep breaths in your down dog. Maybe you want to make it a child's pose for these breaths, whatever you need. Inhale, step your right foot between your hands. Exhale, pivot your left heel down so that your left foot is in line with the back of your mat or slightly turned in. Your feet should be lined up either heel to arch or heel to heel. Heel to heel will be more accessible for your hips. Then come on up to Warrior Two. Check your base here. Make sure that your torso is coming directly up out of your hips and not angling forward. If you find yourself leaning forward slightly, tuck your tailbone. Bring your chest and your hips up. Look at your right leg. Make sure you're bending deeply and that you can see the inside of your right foot. Extend your arms out from your shoulders. Gaze over your right hand. Energetically pull your legs towards each other, like you're trying to stand up without actually moving, and press down firmly through the outside of your left foot. Exhale, tip your hips back and come into side angle. You can rest your forearm on your right thigh, or if you want to bring a block, you can use a block, or bring your hand all the way down. Let's place it this time on the outside of our right foot. Press your right knee firmly into your right arm, actively rotating that right hip open. Tuck the right side of your glutes under and open up through the left side of your chest. Gaze can be up if it's comfortable. Keeping everything where it is, inhale, straighten your right leg for triangle. If you need a little more space, come up on fingertips or use your block. Again, right side of your glute tucks under, left side of your chest spirals open. Gaze up if it's comfortable. Bring your left hand to your left hip. Rebend your right knee and bring your right hand out so that your thumb is in line with your pinky toe and maybe about a foot in front of your foot. Take a small step in with your left foot and then come on up into Ardha Chandrasana, half moon. Press down firmly through your right foot. Press out firmly through your left foot. Open your hips to the left, your shoulders to the left. Left arm straight up. Gaze can be down, that's easier for balance, out to the side or all the way up. Bend your right knee. Slowly come back down into Warrior Two. Spiral your hands down to frame your foot. Step back and lower all the way to the mat. Untuck your toes. Bend your knees. Reach back and hold on to the inside or the outside of your feet, your ankles, your calves, whatever is most comfortable. Inhale up to bow pose. Press your feet into your hands to help facilitate the lift. Inhale for length. Exhale, lift. And release. Hands under shoulders, toes tucked under. Exhale, push up through plank to downward facing dog. Inhale, step your left foot between your hands. Pivot your right heel down so that your foot is in line with the back of your mat or slightly turned in. Again, heel to arch or heel to heel. Come on up to warrior two. Check out your base. Make sure your hips are in line, your shoulders. Bending deeply into your left knee. You can see the inside of your left foot. Arms out. Gaze over the left fingers. Energetically pull your legs towards each other like you're trying to stand up and press firmly through the outside of your right foot. Exhale, tip your hips back and come on down into side angle. Forearm on thigh, hand on block, or hand on the mat to the outside of your left foot. Actively, externally rotate some by pressing your left knee into your left arm. Spiral your left glute under and the right side of your chest open. Gaze up if it's comfortable for you. Parsvakonasana, side angle pose. If you need more space, come up on your fingers, use your block. Otherwise, keep everything as it is. Inhale, straighten your right leg for Trikonasana triangle. Left side of your glute spirals under, right side of your chest spirals open. Gaze up if it's comfortable. Bring your right hand to your right hip, rebend your left knee. Place your left hand so your thumb is in line with your pinky toe, about a foot in front of your foot. Take a small step in with your right foot, and then come all the way to stand in half moon. Stand strongly in your left leg. Press back strongly with your right leg. Open your hips and your chest to the right. Right arm straight up. Gaze down or up or anywhere in between. Remembering this is a standing balance, so your hand is down, but try not to put a lot of weight in it. Or if you want, you can even maybe take it off the ground. Bend your left knee. Slowly and with control, come back to warrior two. Spiral your hands down and step back and lower all the way to the mat. Untuck your toes, bend your knees, and let's revisit bow pose. Hold on to the inside or the outside of your feet or ankles. Inhale, up to bow. On every inhale, find a little more length. On every exhale, go back a little further. And release. Hands under shoulders, toes tucked under. Exhale, push up to plank pose. Step your left foot to the middle of your mat and turn the toes out to point to the side of the mat. Come on to the outside of your right foot. Lift your left hand to the sky for a kickstand side plank. Press down firmly into your left foot to lift your hips even more, and you should feel a stretch through the outside of your left hip. Slowly and carefully bring yourself down to a seated position facing the long edge of your mat. We're going to move into Gomukhasana, cow face. However, if this isn't comfortable for you, you can either sit on a block or you could do a seated figure 4. For cow face, bring your left knee on top of your right knee. Knees stacked, shins opening up at an angle. Again, you can definitely sit on a block if you find that your hips don't sit evenly. At this point, you also might want your strap. Right arm up by your ear. Bend it so your hand is back by the back of your neck. Left arm by your side. Bend it, bring it up. So you can either hold on to the strap or hold on to your hands if you can reach. Inhale for length. Exhale, fold. Inhale, slowly come back up. Carefully release your grip and put your strap down for later. Now reposition your legs so your shins are parallel with the side of your mat and stacked on top of each other for Agni Stambhasana, fire log pose. Now again, if this isn't comfortable for you, you can always take the block and place it between your knee and your ankle. Or you could bring your left foot out in front for Sukhasana, easy pose. Whatever you're doing, don't force your left knee down. Place your hands by your hips. Inhale for length. Exhale, keep the length as you fold forward. If you want to walk your hands out in front, you can do that as well. Inhale, get longer. Exhale, fold a little deeper. Inhale, come back up. We'll go back the way we came in. So place your left foot down, your right hand forward, your right foot back. Come back up into your kickstand, side plank. From here, come back to plank. And then step your right foot to the middle of your mat, turning your toes out to point to the side. Come on to the outside of your left foot. Right arm up. Kickstand side plank on this side. Press down firmly again through that right foot to lift your hips and feel the stretch through the outside of your right hip. Slowly and carefully bring yourself down to a seated position. All the same options are available on this side. Cow face or seated figure 4. This time, right knee is on top of left. If you're going for the bind and you need the strap is in the left hand by your ear. Bend your elbow so the hand is back by the back of your neck. Right hand down by your side. Bring it back up, bend to hold on to the strap or grasp your hands. Inhale for length. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Slowly come back up to seated. Release the grip. Place the strap down for later. Come into fire log on this side, right shin on top of left. Use the block if you want to, or do Sukhasana on the right. Hands by your hips, inhale for length. Exhale, fold. You can walk your hands forward if you want. On every inhale, get a little longer. On every exhale, fold a little deeper. Inhale, sit tall. Go out the way we came in. Left hand forward and down, left foot back. Right foot middle of your mat, up to your kickstand side plank, and then turn to plank. You can vinyasa if you want to, chaturanga, or all the way to the mat. Upward facing dog or cobra, and then back to downward facing dog. Inhale, look forward, step or jump to a seated position. We're going to move into our pigeon variations. We're going to start with a 90-90. So take your left leg so that it comes straight out from the side of your body. Bend at the knee for a 90-degree here. And then bend your right leg so your shin is parallel with the front of your mat for a 90-degree there. You will be sitting on your right hip, not evenly between both hips. Flex both feet. Inhale for length. Exhale, just a little fold. Inhale back up. And we'll do some active external and internal rotation. We'll start with the external rotation, so we're going to lift our left knee, but keep everything else on the ground. Here we go. 5, 4, 3. You should be feeling it on the outside. 2, 1. Hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Release. For the active internal rotation, it's just the opposite. We're going to lift our heel and everything else stays down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Now we're going to move into Ekapada Kapotasana, our pigeon pose. Bring your right foot towards you. We often hear people talking about keeping the shin parallel, but unless you have a lot of external rotation, what will happen is your shin will turn and you'll twist at the knee to compensate for the lack of external rotation. So bring that foot in. You can always bring it out if you find you have more space. Then bring the left foot behind you. Stay on your left toes. Lift up off both hips and readjust, remembering our low lunge from the beginning, pulling the hips together, front to back, side to side. Make this a nice active pigeon. Maybe you can lift your arms up completely. Maybe you want them in prayer at your chest. If you want to lower down slightly, you can untuck your toes, come down some, but still try and keep it nice and active. Engaging your legs, pulling them again, front to back, side to side towards each other. What you should be feeling is a stretch through the outside, the front of your left hip flexor. Again, as little weight as possible in your hands, keeping it nice and active. From here, if you want to try King Pigeon and you want to use a strap, go ahead and grab your strap. If you can do it without a strap, that's great. And if you don't want to do it at all, that's fine too. Stay wherever you want. Bend your left knee. Hook your strap if you're using it. Hold on. Bring your foot towards your body. Again, using your glute and your hamstring to bend. And then tilt your elbow up to the sky. You can stay one-handed or reach back and hold on with both hands to your foot or the strap, pulling your foot towards you and lifting your chest up and back. Carefully release. Don't let anything slingshot. Place the strap down for the other side, and then walk your hands forward for a nice sleeping pigeon. You may notice your weight shift over to the right side. That's okay. Hips don't need to be even in this version. Now you'll also notice the sensation moves from the left hip flexor to the outside of the right hip. Let's take a few deep breaths in this sleeping pigeon. Final inhale and exhale. Inhale, walk your hands in. Sit on over onto your right hip. Bring your left leg forward, and let's do 90-90 now on the other side. So, right leg out straight from the side of your body. Bend the knee so the shin is parallel with the long edge of your mat. Left leg, shin is parallel with the front of your mat. Inhale for length. Exhale, just a little fold. Come back up. Active external and internal rotation on the right. Knee up, everything else stays where it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Active internal rotation. Foot comes up, everything else stays down. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hold. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release. Moving into our active pigeon, bring your left foot in towards you. Right leg long behind you, up on your right toes. Readjust your hips. Hips pulling together, front to back, side to side. Strong lift through your hips. Hands again can be maybe in prayer so that you're not using your hands to bear weight. The sensation again is in the hip flexor, now on the right side. If you want to come down a little lower, untuck your right toes. Come down a little bit, but again, try and keep it active. Hips pulling together, front to back, side to side. Little weight in your hands. King pigeon on this side, or stay in your upright pigeon. Bend your right leg. Wrap the strap around your right foot if you're using it. Bring your right foot towards you using the glute and the hamstring of your right leg. Then turn your right elbow up to the sky. One hand, or reach back with your left hand. Foot towards you. Head back, chest and heart up and back. slowly and carefully release. And then walk your hands forward for your sleeping pigeon. Let the weight shift over to your left hip. Let the sensation move into your outer left hip. Inhale, walk your hands in, sit over onto your left hip, carefully swing your right leg forward, and come to lie down on your back. Heels walk in close to your sit bones, arms by your side. We'll do 3 rounds of bridge, or if you want, you can take any or all of them into wheel. Inhale. Exhale, push through your feet and lift up to your bridge. Push down strongly through your heels. Move your chest towards your chin. Squeeze your glutes. And slowly roll down vertebra by vertebra. Round 2, inhale. Exhale, push up into bridge. Squeeze your glutes. If you want, this time maybe you want to interlace your fingers and walk your shoulders a little closer to each other to give a little more space for your chest to shift towards your chin. Release your interlace and slowly roll down. Final round. If you're going into wheel, hands are near the outside of your shoulders. Inhale, press into your feet. Then press into your hands to come into wheel. Walk your feet a little closer if you want to. Try and bring your heels down and then press through your heels to bring your chest forward through your arms. Press down firmly through your hands to straighten your elbows. Then slowly and carefully come back down. Gather your knees into your chest. Hold on around your shins and just rock back and forth. Release your shins. Cross your right ankle over your left knee. Interlace your fingers behind your left thigh or your left shin. Bring your left knee towards you and use your right forearm to open your right leg to the side. Reclined figure 4. Gently release and switch sides. Left ankle over right knee. Interlace behind your right thigh or shin. Bring your right knee towards you and use your left forearm to open your left knee. Gently release. Point your soles of your feet towards the ceiling. Bend your knees. Hold on to your shins, your ankles, your big toes, the outside of your feet for happy baby. Draw your tailbone down towards the mat while you also pull your knees towards the mat. Rock from side to side if you want to. Whatever feels good in your happy baby. Bring the soles of your feet together. Lower them as one to the mat. And let your knees open to the side for reclined butterfly. One hand can be on your heart, one hand on your belly. If you want to take your Shavasana like this, you are more than welcome. Otherwise, extend one leg at a time to the end of your mat. Bring your hands by your side, palms facing up. Find a comfortable place for your shoulders. Release the pursing of your lips and the clenching of your jaw. Release the tension from your shoulders, the gripping from your fingers. Let your feet flop out to the side. Let your thoughts, your worries, your anxieties all melt away as you melt into the mat. I invite you to stay here for as long as you'd like, for as long as you can. If you're ready to move on with me, stretch your arms above your head, stretch your legs long. Roll over onto one of your sides. Then carefully come up to a comfortable seated position. Place one hand on your heart, one hand on your belly. Thank you for practicing with me.